Welcome to another episode of What Did the Patient Say with Doctors Dana and Lauren Brindisi, sisters and owners of Carolina Functional Neurology Center. We are providing you answers to frequently asked questions and bringing you inside information from real conversations we have with patients on a daily basis. Our goal is to spread the truth on health and healing because we believe everyone deserves to know the answers.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of What Did the Patient Say? This is Dr. Walden. I'm here with my patient, Megan. She was seen at CFNC for treatment after a stroke. So thank you so much for joining us today, Megan.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for letting me share my story.
Of course. So to start off, I really want to get into the meat of things and understand what your symptoms were and what you were experiencing initially before coming in for care.
Okay. Well, I had a major stroke, an ischemic stroke, in my right central lobe off of my main artery. So I had a thrombectomy and I lost all feeling in my left side. I had no movement whatsoever. I was completely paralyzed. I did inpatient and outpatient therapy through the hospital, and coming back to North Carolina, because it happened in another state. So we got back to North Carolina and we were having some issues with our insurance wanting to provide more therapies. So I just got online and I'm like, I've got to do something. I really had no movement in my fingers. It was very limited. Same with my arm, and my gait with my walking was nowhere near perfect. I had just given up the cane basically when I found you guys, and I'm like, we got to do this. So I called you up and we had our first assessment, which was kind of eye-opening for me because I've never had those kinds of tests done before. So in depth, it was really kind of cool and interesting to have that happen. And then I started coming to see you, and luckily insurance then figured out I still need traditional therapies. So I was very lucky to have PT, OT, and I called it neurotherapy. So everybody was like, where are you going today? And I'm like, I'm going to neuro. So they're like, okay. And I still say that too, because everybody wants to keep tabs on my recovery journey. So all I know is that with all three therapies working together, I have come leaps and bounds. My hand, I can open fairly well. I have movement in all individual fingers now. I've noticed my walking is better. I've got some really good tips and tricks from you guys on how to improve my gait. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what else. I'm just so thankful and grateful.
And I'm so thankful that you came in to see us as well, Megan. So I kind of wanted to ask, how did you find us? Because I know that you've seen traditional neurologists and you were going through the outpatient care with the hospital. So how did you make your way over to functional neurology?
I Googled neurofunctional therapies in North Carolina, and you guys popped up right away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I clicked and said, let's do this. So yeah, that was it.
Well, I'm glad you did. So for those of you watching, when Megan first came in, your biggest complaints that we were going to be targeting was the lack of mobility on that left side of your body. And when Megan first came in, I wish we had a video, but your hand was like this, and in order to open it, she physically had to pry her fingers open.
Yeah, and now I can open it up both ways. I can close it and open. My little pinky is still my problem child, but she'll get there.
There. We're working on it.
Yeah, I am working once a week. Once to twice a week, I have OT on my hand. I see a different person for my whole arm, and I can't wait to come in and see you again to show you all the stuff that I'm doing with my left arm. It's really cool. So, and in fact, I'm off to PT later today for my legs. So
So Megan is one of those patients that is doing absolutely everything she can to get better. And based off of our evaluation, we were really targeting that right side of your brain, which happened to be where the stroke was initially. So treatment for Megan looked very different than some other patients, where we were able to use a lot of different eye movement therapies and cortical tasks to improve the efficiency of that right side of her brain. So some of the things we were doing in the office included StimPod, which we're still doing some continued treatment now to help with the genetic expression of the nerves on the left arm and the left leg. We were doing a lot of gait and mobility work while incorporating different cognitive tasks. So Megan was doing some funky walking while walking through categories of like animals and different math problems, which was helping with her arm swing pretty significantly. We worked on neural timing mechanisms, sensory and motor integration. And Megan was seen in the office about twice a week for 6 weeks, and then we did an examination. And at this point, she's coming in still for some StimPod treatment to, again, improve on the efficiency of the nerves on the left side of her body while she's going through and doing PT and OT and completing an at-home regimen of care for the neurological rehab. So compared to when you first came to see us, Megan, I know you showed us your hand, but how are you feeling today?
I feel so much stronger and more confident. I mean, I think stroke survivors we're self-conscious about how we look in public because of our deficits. I'm still making up my own words. So, and so I have much more confidence when I'm walking, and I'm more observant of myself. I'm more conscious of how I'm doing, and I'm using some of your tips and tricks when I go for walks to practice, because now I have homework from my PT to do 30 minutes of walking a day. And so I'm really concentrating when I shouldn't be concentrating. But you know how my brain works. I try to do everything logically. So, but I use your little tips and tricks, and I feel so much more confident going out. I have much more strength, and every single person I see, every time I see them again, they're like, oh my gosh, you can do this. And it's funny, when I haven't seen people for a while, they like want to overcompensate for me. And I'm like, I can walk, I can climb the stairs. I can move my arm. I'm like, you don't have to rearrange. Everybody can sit still. It's okay. I can get up and do things. And I mean, it's night and day. And I actually think this neurotherapy should be standard protocol, because I think back now, if I would have had this straight away as an inpatient, like right after the stroke, I feel I could be so much further along.
And yeah, I think that it's something that we're trying to get the word out there, because earlier is better, but the fact that you still found us regardless is huge. And seeing that improvement with your hand, especially since that's what you can show us on the screen. I mean, I wish I had a video of where we started versus where we're at now, because you've made some massive improvements. And I know we've talked quite a bit about it in the office.
Yeah. And I was thinking back, and I was pretty much out of any therapy because of insurance for almost 6 months. So I had like 6 months of good therapy, and then I went 6 months before I found you guys. And so to think how far I've come just in the past couple of months is unbelievable. It's just, I don't want to stop. Like, we got to keep going.
I know you're doing amazing. So the big question to ask, Megan, is compared to where you were when you first came in and now, if you had to give a percentage of your overall improvement, where would we be at today?
I would say at least 95%. I have so much more function and even concentration, even with my brain, like doing things, I call it my stroke brain. Like, I'll forget where I put something, but that doesn't happen as often. And I don't know, it's such a huge improvement. It should be, like I said, standard protocol. And I cannot say enough about you guys. Everybody, the whole staff has just been phenomenal and helpful and encouraging. And I mean, I get excited when you guys get excited, because that just motivates me to keep going. Like, if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna be like, yeah, let me show you what I can do. Like I said, wait till the next time you see me and you can see my arm and shoulder movements and stuff. It's, I mean, every time I see another therapist, they're like, oh my gosh, like, you've improved so much since the last time I saw you. So it all is just amazing. You guys do amazing works. And it's just amazing how the brain actually functions. And I'm learning so much about myself and about the brain. And I'm just, like I said, forever grateful for you guys.
Well, like I said, I'm so grateful that you came in as well, and that you were able to and willing to speak and share your story, because like you said, I know a lot of post-stroke victims are a little self-conscious and they don't know where to turn, and we have been able to make great improvements for you. So I really appreciate you speaking about this, Megan, and I'm really excited to continue working with you and be a part of your journey long term. But I wanted to say to everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Megan, for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. No, it's like I said, you're a great person to have on, and I'm so thankful that you were willing to share your story. If anyone has any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can also contact us via our website, which is carolinafnc.com, or give us a call to get more information on what treatment may look like for you. But thank you again, Megan, for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.